In this video, we are going to instruct you on how to log in to the JupyterHub web page so that we can continue working on Python-related material in weather technology. If you log on to Blackboard within your favorite web browser and go to the content section of the weather technology course, and so for my section that would be the 2020 SP MET 130B weather technology. The other class would be the same except for A. Similar instructions are available in both locations. The second tab down, you see JupyterHub login instructions. In here, there's contained a PDF which has some troubleshooting items as well as the content that is available within this element. The most important piece here is this web address. And so what we want you to do is to go ahead and either copy and paste into a new web browser or click on this link to open up a new tab or a new window within your web browser. This is the link that is going to take you to the web page that's going to contain the Jupyter Lab environment similar to what was available in our computer lab. Go ahead and click on that link, and this will bring you to this new page here. And what you should hopefully see is this sign in with GitHub. And so what you're going to need to do is to go ahead and click this link to sign in with GitHub. Now when I click on this link, since I've done this before, it's going to remember my credentials, and so it's going to log me right in. For you, it should take you to a screen that you're going to need to put in your GitHub username and your GitHub password. So go ahead and click on that link. Go ahead and pause the video if you need in order to get yourself caught up to log in. If you've had some errors in this logging in process, for example in Safari, when I log in, sometimes I get an endless refresh cycle. Go ahead and stop that web browser with the little X icon, close out that tab, and re-click on the link. Likely that will fix your problem. Other times you may need to go to the home screen. The home screen will look something like this, and you'll see you'll only have probably two elements here, home and token. And what you would potentially see is you'll need to see either stop my server, click stop, and then it'll change to start my server, and you can click on that as well to get it back to your operating procedure. If you have any issues logging into this Jupyter Lab environment from clicking on the link in the content section, putting in your GitHub username and password to get to this screen, please let Adam or I know, and we will be happy to walk through any issues with you on a case-by-case basis. All the content that you're going to need for the remainder of the semester is available in Valpo_courses, which is going to be the only folder that you'll see upon logging in. I've been testing a few things out, and so I created a separate folder called my_stuff. You can create a folder for yourself in any one of these directories by hitting this little folder icon with a plus symbol. This will simply create a new folder in which you can move things around. I'm going to go ahead and navigate into Valpo courses at this time by double-clicking on the folder icon. You'll see there's a couple of pieces of information contained within here. Specifically for weather technology, we're going to want the information that is available in Weather Tech, WX Tech. Clicking on that will take us into here. I pre-populated some scripts not knowing exactly what we were going to do. Feel free to use and work on some of these scripts. Some of the handouts will contain information about them, but we are not going to explicitly use them for the remainder of the semester. What we're going to be primarily concerned with are the notebooks. Here in this notebooks folder are contained all of the notebooks that I've created over the course of this semester that we're going to use, that we've either already used or will use for the remainder of this semester. My advice is to not use any of these directly so that you always have these to come back to. And so if you wanted to start with a copy of one of these notebooks, for example, the color-filled gridded output, which we did before spring break, right-click on that file and you get a host of options. One of them is copy and one of them is duplicate. Either one would work well to starting a second copy. And so if I click duplicate, then I will get a second element here. This one is now named -copy1, but I may want to rename it. For example, maybe I'm working on a homework problem. So maybe, homework 7 new notebook. And I can simply rename there. If I wanted to organize things better, I could add a new folder within here called my_notebooks, and then simply drag my homework 7 notebook up to my notebooks and file that away so that I have a little cleaner area to work from. To launch notebooks works similar to what we had in the lab, double-clicking on that notebook. And so since we made a copy of a previous notebook to start with, it's already populated with information. And one thing that you're going to need to make aware is what is the kernel that we're running. We've not had to do too much with our kernels throughout the semester since we run a fairly basic setup. Your kernel may not be automatically set to this valpo-spring-2020. Whatever is up in this corner, you can simply click on this area, which will take you to select a kernel environment. And there are 3 primary kernels that are available to you. And you will always want to pick the one that is the conda env::valpo-spring-2020. And then just select that kernel. You can also get to changing the kernel through the kernel tab up at the top of the Jupyter Lab environment by clicking on kernel and going down to change kernel. Otherwise, these notebooks will run just as you've done in the past by either clicking the play button, and so we see that successfully ran that cell, holding the shift key and hitting enter, or going up to run and run selected cells. And so we see that this map created, this is from March the 3rd, 2020 at 0 UTC, creating our pseudo-surface plot out of the GFS model. Here we're not yet saving the figure, but we could. We could simply add pc.save, and we'll say this is test.png, so a generic name. We're going to add our few important keyword arguments, so bbox_inches equals height, and DPI equals 150. Go ahead and rerun that cell, and so I did so by hitting Shift Enter. It'll take just a few seconds to run. We get our image, and then in just a few seconds we should see our test.png up here in the corner. This is great, and so what we're going to need to do though over the course of this semester is you're going to need to upload these for assignments, or to put them in Google Slides and then upload into an assignment on Blackboard. The way to download any notebook or file that is contained within this JupyterHub environment, you come over to this file folder left-hand side, right-click, and select Download. And this will allow you to download to your local system anywhere you so choose. And so you can put them all into one folder if you want, or into a folder specifically for weather technology to then easily access them for either uploading to a Google slide or to the assignment page in Blackboard. We can also open these images up within this environment by double-clicking just to see what it looks like, in case you want to make any changes to how it looks before downloading it and putting it in for your final assignment. So that's the basics of getting to use this JupyterHub environment. It should be pretty similar to what you experienced in the computer lab, now just through this web browser environment. There could be times when things snafu or are a little slow, So please be patient with this system. There are troubleshooting guidelines back on the content page here in the JupyterHub login instructions PDF available here. If you do run into any issues, please don't hesitate to reach out, and we will work to get you comfortable in this environment in the very near future. That's it for this video. Hope you found this useful.